All right, so thank you for joining this webinar this morning. I need to enable my screen share. I don't know why.
Okay, how to enable it is there's a small arrow beside the share screen button. Have you seen the small arrow? That green share screen button at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Click the small arrow, then you can see the working.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Thanks. So, boom. Okay, so. Okay, so a little bit of intro. I'm Chimeze Chuta. Many of you already know me because I'm sure you got the notification to be here through one or more of my social handles. So thanks for showing up again. I'm going to use a document that I prepared on Google Doc, and I'll make it shareable so that we can keep building on the document and adding more content to it. So you may not bother about maybe screenshotting what I'm going to be showing you, because eventually you're going to get a copy of this document. So I do stuff like this, sharing the knowledge that I have. I'm not the person who has the most knowledge of the subjects that I talk about, but I always like to share the little I know. And I found out that sharing what I know helps me to learn even more. And that's why I always find opportunity to do that. And that's why I'm also doing this one now. My background is web application development. And I have close to 15 years, if not more, building web applications for different kinds of businesses. I got involved with blockchain technology and formally educated myself sometime around 2016. And ever since, I have focused completely on blockchain technology. Not that I build blockchain solutions, so to speak, but I function majorly as a solutions architect. I help to design blockchain solutions for individuals and businesses too. So you can find out a little bit more when you get to see this. You have my slides. I have a slide repository at slides.com where you can see some of my earlier slides that border around blockchain and blockchain development. Then I'm also the founder and coordinator of Blockchain Nigeria User Group, which is a community and association that we set up to drive adoption and also do the things that I'm doing here now to share knowledge so that people will be able to learn as much as possible and change their lives through the tech. Okay, so let me just start by making this quote. This quote is original to me. So I say that the emerging world of trust requires skillful men who can dedicate their time and resources to build it in the metaverse. The word metaverse has become known to people recently, but it has been there. I mean, metaverse is a new word. We've always had knowledge of metaverse. But as cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology begins to drive more activities in the metaverse, then it becomes much more potent than it were before. Because in this new era where you have decentralized finance and borderless transactions and native currency of the internet, which basically are cryptos, then we should be able to have systems that can receive payments autonomously. You have Internet of Things that will connect to different environments that you might need to enable them to receive payments to continue to work for them to continue to work. So we need to raise an army of developers that can be useful in building this web of trust. And I believe that from the 70 plus people that are currently on this call will be able to get that. So why should you become a blockchain developer? You're already building websites. You are conversant with some technologies. Maybe you're a mobile app developer. Maybe you build automated processes for businesses. Yes, you are in the right job. You're in the right profession. But you also have to appreciate the fact that the world we live in is progressive and technology never remains the same. Okay, so you need to look at other things that are happening elsewhere. Okay, so that's why it's important that we continue to listen to the voices and the happenings of technology around us. So number one, lucrative salary. Blockchain developers are not enough. It's not that people want to pay them more or that people they want to throw their money away. They're just not enough. People keep looking for people who build these new decentralized solutions, and they can't get the people that they need. It's either the people that are available are half-baked, or they don't even have an idea of what they say that they know. And there is a mad scramble for the few that can actually build functional applications. In my position as Blockchain Nigeria User Group, I get request upon request locally and internationally for blockchain developers. I have given people, blockchain developers, to build projects for them every single area but I find that we need more people to do this. So the lucrative salary is something that should motivate you. I mean, think about what you can do with $5,000 as a basic salary. I mean, that's $60,000 per annum. I mean, that's a salary of a mid-level blockchain developer. Mid-level, that is, you could actually copy code, be able to put things together. You'll be able to earn that much. Okay. Then support for new technologies. If you're a tech person, you will know that there's this passion for you to be supportive of any kind of development that is happening in the blockchain space, or any environment for that matter, especially if it concerns you. So becoming a blockchain developer gives you that opportunity to support the new technology of trust that is coming out and poised to change the way we do businesses. We also have the fact that you want to bring meaningful change. We see a whole lot of things that are going on in the existing systems that we are using. A few days ago, First Bank network was down. GT Bank is becoming reoccurring. You see networks like MTN down once in a while. You see all kinds of broken systems in government administration, how corporate environments are running their things. I mean, I don't know how many of you who have even tried to do your NIN, which is the identity stuff that ties you to access to any other service in Nigeria. It's crazy how these systems can't even do anything. So the passion to be able to create something to change what is not right or what is not working well should make you want to get involved with blockchain technology. Of course, we have a very thriving, supportive community all around the world. I mean, there are grants coming out every single day to motivate people to build. There are some grants that, I mean, recently Algorand put out $1 billion as a blockchain developer grant. Solana has put up 500 million. Cardano has millions. Okay, so there are a lot of support that the community is putting in. Listen, wherever the money goes, that's where the job will go. Right now, the decentralized economy is sucking revenue from traditional systems. That's why you see different governments all over the world, they are complaining of loss of revenue. What they don't understand is that money is leaving traditional financial system and they are flowing into this decentralized economy. And that is where the money will also be spent. So it's not as though the money will go into the centralized finance world and you will now go into gold and silver. No, or go into real estate in the physical world. No. The people who are interested in building the metaverse, they will spend the money to build the metaverse. Okay, look at what is going on in NFT marketplace. People are spending millions to buy NFTs. I mean, digital generated content costing millions. What does that tell you? It tells you that that's where the money is. So pay attention. Where the money is, where the money goes, that's where the jobs will go. And right now, as we speak, the money is in blockchain technology, and that's where the money is moving. Look at the overall market cap of crypto assets. It's almost $3 million, $3 trillion, okay? And that's not chicken change. I mean, liquid cash. I know when you want to compare them to traditional financial system, you may be tempted to think that it's small, but we are talking about liquid cash, liquid. The traditional system will have all kinds of instruments that are not real. I mean, there are minted stuff that doesn't really, round up. But I mean, these are $3 trillion is money that is sitting in exchanges and wallets of individuals. So it's something to look at. Then increasing demand, I've already mentioned that because there are not enough. So any business or any service that has less people and they're being chased by more demands, then there has to be some kind of increased pricing. Okay, so hopefully I believe that everyone on this call, you have basic foundation in web development. Which basic foundations am I talking about? The foundations of the web is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As far as the web remains or will remain, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript will continue to be valuable as the core structure that the web will continue to use. Of course, we will have some variants. Of course, we'll move from HTML to HTML5, gone to CSS to SAS, gone to Java. Then several libraries of JavaScript are coming out to help to make JavaScript even much more potent than it already is. I also believe that in the course of you building web applications, you know about frameworks and developer tools like Node.js, React, Angular. These are all JavaScript libraries that helps you to kickstart your project and build out what you want. I'm also somehow confident that some of you also are confident with using Shell, and you're fluent in your JIT, and of course NPM, Node Packet Manager. If you don't have this proficiency, you can acquire them as quickly as you can, because in this document, when you get, you're going to see links to those documents. Now, when you finally get yourself ready to build applications, you need to make a decision on what type that you build. Blockchain development basically will have to do with three different aspects. One is to do actual blockchain infrastructure development, in which case you need more than the skills that we have listed here. Okay, you need more than JavaScript, you need more than Node.js and CSS. You actually need some programming languages that are designed for lifting heavy loads, like C++, like Python, and C# and so on. Okay, so you need such stronger development languages. But the essence of this webinar is to bring you into two aspects of blockchain development that you can actually use the existing skills that you have to begin to acquire. The first one is smart contract development. Smart contract development is not, it's a back-end activity, but it's not an infrastructure-based kind of skill that you need to have to build blockchain infrastructures like maybe Ethereum machine itself, you know, or Cardano machine, a virtual machine itself, or Bitcoin network itself. But the smart contracts are small pieces of codes that you use to, you know, create some additional functionalities that will be executed on the virtual machine that you eventually will be executing them on. And because the most popular one, being Solidity, is somehow a little bit in syntax similar to JavaScript, which I believe that if you have touched JavaScript before, when you see an Ethereum, a Solidity language, you'll be easy. It will be easy enough for you to identify them. Here is a sample of a Solidity smart contract. The syntax basically looks like JavaScript, but its functionality is 100% different from that of JavaScript. Okay. Now, the next thing that you will also want to be interested in is in building front-end applications for blockchain projects. Now, when Ethereum virtual machine or any virtual machine is deployed, it's like one gigantic virtual computer that is in the space. Until dApps are built on top of it, it actually does nothing. Okay, so dApps are typically smart contracts that from time to time interact with the blockchain protocol and present a user-friendly environment for users to be able to accomplish one or two tasks that they want. One of the major problems is how do you get the information from the blockchain layer to the front end in terms of applications that can be used, or mobile dApps that can be used by individuals. That's usually where the challenges are. And hopefully enough, the guys who developed most of the blockchain applications were able to figure out a way. And that's where you have Web3 JS library that comes with a whole sort of tools that makes them super easy for you to be able to achieve that. So we'll get to all that. So I'm just assuming that most of you who are here are familiar with these tools that I've listed here. Now, let's move at, let's take a look at the kinds of dApps that you can build. Of course, the best blockchain networks, in my opinion, for anyone to consider building on is what I just listed here. You have Ethereum, Cardano, Polygon, Bantu, Waves, Solana, Polkadot, Tezos, Stellar, Agorand, and of course, Binance Smart Chain. I have my reasons for that. Basically, when you pick a programming language, you have to look at how that programming language that you picked can help you increase the mileage when it comes to applying them in real life. Now, there are a lot of Ethereum-like blockchain out there. There are several of them. So if you pick up a skill, a Solidity skill, or if you pick up app development skill for Ethereum network, for instance, it will enable you to build on Polygon, it will enable you to build on Binance Chain, and to a very strong extent, help you to also build on Solana. Okay, Solana. Now, if you were to build a solution and the person wants, okay, we want this to be multi-chain, and you already have this singular knowledge, and you say, we want this solution on Ethereum, on Polygon, on Binance Chain, then you know where to go. The next reason I also think that this list makes sense is that we are living in a world where we deal with you know, low income. So people are usually drawn to any type of infrastructure that will not make them spend money unnecessarily. Yeah, Ethereum is going through some issues, but the good thing Ethereum has done for us and the developer community is that it has a very large community that has built fantastic tools that can be used to build on several other Ethereum compatible platforms like Polygon or Binance Smart Chain or Theta platform, and a couple of other ones that you'll see where I listed Ethereum compatible platforms in this document as the time goes on. Okay, so for this tutorial or for this presentation today, we're going to be focusing on Solidity smart contract skill sets that are required to build on Ethereum and Polygon and Binance Smart Chain. So in addition to all these skills that you already know, here are some other tools that you're going to be needing to speed up your knowledge on, because these are the things that are going to help you to actually accomplish these tasks. And fortunately, many of them are quite easy to understand if you are already coming from a programming background. So first of all, you have your smart contract. Now, smart contracts majorly are written in Solidity. Of course, you can write with some other tools like Rust or Viper, but sticking to the one that has the greatest support helps, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. One good thing about Rust also is that, you know, Rust helps you to build on platforms like Polkadot, because it's sitting on WebAssembly, which is a framework tool for building modern applications. But I mean, it's a decision that you make. But my recommendation would be to let's focus on Solidity for now, because that's the language that you can actually get resources more than any other one. So Solidity is a smart contract programming language for any Ethereum compatible blockchain. Okay, so the syntax resembles that of JavaScript. So if you're already conversant with JavaScript, the chances are that you will be able to read and also code in Solidity without much fuse. But don't go into Solidity with the mindset of JavaScript in terms of execution, okay? Whereas you can execute your JavaScript right there on your browser and the code will work, Solidity has to be compiled. And when it's compiled, then it has to be now be deployed on top of the Ethereum Vision machine. The bytecode will be deployed on top of the Ethereum Vision machine, where it will now run. JavaScript is not going to ask you for gas, but Ethereum Solidity smart contract will require you to bring money from your pockets to execute the transaction that you want. So some of these, again, Solidity is what you call a Turing complete programming language. Okay, so you know you need to understand some of this, but I think the key ones is, one, you can't execute them right on the browser. When you finish writing them, you have to compile them and deploy them and make provision for gas that will enable you to execute the functions that you included. And that's the reason why many times people write Solidity and make sure that they don't have too much functions to execute. They find a way to limit the gas fees that they're going to pay to execute those functions. And that way they restrict the number of lines of code that they usually will use. Okay, so we'll be looking at Solidity, and I mentioned some of these ones. So now, the things that make it easy for people like us, you and me, who are coming in from web development background, is that there are already people who have gone ahead of us to create some fantastic tools that will help us do the things that we want to do. One of them is the OpenZapplin project, which is a library of Ethereum smart contracts that conform to the standards that the protocol itself expects. They are wonderfully edited and verified and audited smart contracts used by many. So they are available in their repository. So you can go to OpenZapplin.org and you'll be able to have access to the library of battle-tested smart contracts. In other words, even though you can write smart contracts by yourself using Solidity, if you use OpenZapplin smart contracts, you save a lot of time because you wouldn't be reinventing the wheel. I will show you some samples of codes from OpenZapplin, and you see that it's really a very helpful tool. So whether it has to do with the Ethereum ERC20 standards, or this the 720 standard or 1155 standard, you just talk about it. They are available for you to do. So in most cases, what you do, you just import the particular smart contract that is important to you into your Solidity smart contract, then add a few other functions in order to customize them. And your smart contract will just leverage what is coming from OpenZapplin to make it easy for you. Now, there are also some, very user-friendly environment where people can create their tokens. So in as much as you can easily write your own token, it's also possible for you to just go ahead to use the free token creation platforms that some developers have put out there to make life easy for people. For instance, I'm going to show you, let me show you, I have two. Okay, there's this platform called Tokumaka at eattheblocks.com. So there you can easily go and you create your own token. You can easily create your own token, and you can create a basic token for free. And the limit to that token creation will basically be that, okay, because it's free, you can't have more than 10,000 units of that token, okay? But if you want to have more, then you can do basic, and you spend maybe 0.5 BNB, as you can see here, and you can increase the quantity of token that you want to any amount. I mean, if you want to mint 100 trillion, it's up to you, okay? Then if you want some much more stronger values for your token, you may have to do a 1 BNB payment, including your gas fee. And you can add some special features like copywriting, make it burnable, recoverable. In other words, if you want your token to be burnable, maybe after some time, let's say you created 100 trillion token, then you can burn half of it in order to maybe drive value to your token and encourage people to believe that you are actually going to do something valuable with your token. Of course, you can also have rules that can manage the contract itself, because when you want, let's say it's a company that is creating a token, and you want different wallet addresses or holders to be able to have a say in that project, then you need to assign roles. Those roles will determine who can do what and what on that particular token smart contract. So let's say the CBN is issuing a token and they want to have different roles, and it's okay, the CBN governor, his wallet address should be allowed to make changes. The vice president's wallet address should be allowed to make changes. The minister of finance, the wallet address should be allowed to make changes. All those things will have to be defined in the role option. Okay, so this automatically will generate a smart contract for you. In fact, let's just do one simple free one and post it on Binance Testnet. All you have to do is, of course, you need to change your your Metamax network to Binance Smart Chain network. I'll get to all that in a jiffy. But basically, once you are ready to create your token, you just click, and your token is created, and the contract address will be provided for you. We'll come back to this, so just bear with me a bit. Let me just run through other important things that we need to know. So token creation at Token Factory, Coin Manufactory is also available for you to create your token. So the links are there, and the token maker platform. Then development environments that you need to understand and create is, first of all, Metamax is the most user-friendly non-custodial wallet out there. Of course, with every other one that copied them, but is the very first decentralized non-custodial wallet that is browser-based. And it helps a lot when it comes to developing applications, because it is 100% non-custodial, and it's very, very user-friendly. So you need to understand Metamax. I've left a link here for you to easily read more about Metamax and how you can use them. There's also a video here that will also teach you how to integrate Metamax to your Web3 application, so that once your page is launched, typically when you are building your web applications, you normally have a login system where users have to log in, and you assign them roles, and they can have access to their own dashboard. But in decentralized finance, in decentralized application development, because you're dealing with decentralized network, you don't necessarily have to have them create accounts by using our traditional login system. The Metamax wallet provides an easy way for people to sign in with their wallets, and your application will call all their data as you require them to have, and that will easily make them to be able to accomplish whatever you want. So there's no need for you to build a user login. That's the point of what I'm saying. It's not necessary, because the wallet address is actually user identity. So instead of you waiting for them to go and create an account, let them just sign in with their Metamax, their wallet. Once their wallet signs it, that becomes their identity. So Metamax, user identity is identified as one wallet address. Okay, so it's easy for you to, like, if you have several addresses on your Metamax wallet, that means it represents individual identities on that Metamax address. So in the same way that you can have different logins in the same platform. Okay, so, but when you watch this video, you'll be able to have the understanding. Now, just like in web development, we have a suite of applications that makes it easy for us to begin to build our web applications, like the XAMPP package that installs PHP, MySQL, and Apache for you. We also have this suite of applications that enables you to install them locally on your machine, and it will give you a local blockchain, which is Ganache, and the Truffle framework, which is an application development environment that you can use to build all sorts of things on the Ethereum platform. Okay, so this tool is a fantastic option for you, because when you are developing on a local machine, it means that you can actually do many of the things that you want to do faster than having to go and do it on a live network or even on a hosted testnet environment. So I recommend strongly that you get to read about this. I've put information about how to install it. And of course, the Truffle framework also have libraries of different boilerplates that you can easily, you know, the way you normally build your React app and all that, you can get some boilerplate tools that can help you to begin to build your Ethereum DApp immediately. Okay, so the moment you, for instance, if you go to trufflesuites.com and you want to build like an SJX type of application, which is recommended for building web applications, then you can start doing that with the Truffle Next box that is available on Truffle Suite. Okay, so there's a video here. I've also added a video where you can learn how to use this particular Truffle Next to begin to build the application. Another development environment that you also find useful is the Hardhat tool. Is a Solidity smart contract development environment that facilitates building on Ethereum and Ethereum compatible networks, and it helps developers to manage and automate recurring tasks. Okay, one of the key things that Hardhat brings is actually wallet management, you know, and the security of your smart contract. So you know that building decentralized applications have bigger risk than building web applications, because you are dealing with people's funds, and you don't want to be the guy who built something that cause people to go to the village because there are some a box that was exploited, maybe error on code one place or the other that you didn't see, and someone else saw it and exploited it, and everybody is now heading to the village. You don't want to be that guy. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're using the right tool. I'll get to the session where I talked about making sure that you take your time to write the proper tests that you need to make sure that everything is working excellently like you planned it to. Then we are also conversant with NPM, which is a node packet management tool. When we build web applications, we normally use this to scaffold some boilerplate tools that enables us to do. So NPM will help you do also the kind of thing that we normally do when we build web applications. So I've also put some kind of intro for that for you. Then our good old Visual Studio coding environment is still very handy here. It's by far one of the best coding tools that you'll see anywhere in the world. And you still continue to use it because it's still programming that you're talking about. So you need a good one. And of course, I recommend Visual Studio Code as a tool. It makes life pretty easy, especially as it's capable of working through your command line environment. And talking about command line, many people shy away from using shell tools. And of course, you can't run away from that, especially now that you want to come into blockchain development. You need to have this handy tool and be at home with using your command line tools, because that's where you do most of your interaction. I told somebody some time ago that until you are comfortable with using command line tools, you are not really doing tech. You're not really conversant with, you know, the real meat of programming, because this is the playground of real techies. So you should be comfortable. It's not that you're going to be, you know, be limited by not being an expert in CLI tools, but it will help you a lot if you are comfortable with it. So it's, what does it take? Just quickly open your terminal and you begin to knock away your commands there and get them executed. It's magical. It's really magical. Of course, JIT most of the time will walk through you using command line tools. And of course, there are some front end or UI environment that you can also use JIT. But like I said, getting acquainted with a JIT skill, a command line tool skill, is a no-brainer for you. So it's a must-have. Let's say you want to pull information. Remember, almost every blockchain-based application is open sourced. Not all of them, but most of them are open source. And because they're open source, their code base are usually on their JIT, the project's JIT repository. And you can easily go there and clone them to your local machine and actually test them, or open the codes and read them and find out what did these people put here that is making this act like this and that. And you can all read all that and be able to know where to make some changes to build your own. Then, of course, there is a web-based development environment, which I've already shown you. Remix is a web-based Solidity programming environment. One of the things that it helps you do is that it helps you to easily write your program and deploy them, and compile them, then deploy them. So let's say now I have written this code. This is a BNUG egg game Solidity smart contract that will enable somebody to farm some BNUG eggs and hatch them. So you can, there are some functions here, you can hatch egg function, you can see hatch egg functions. You can sell the hatched eggs, you can buy eggs, you could calculate and trade your eggs, and so on and so forth. So what Solidity helps you to do is to standardize your coding. And let's say let me change to a version that is recent. Let me go to 0.8.9. Let me change this to 8.9. I just want to do a quick deployment so that we'll just see how easy it is to get this sorted out. So we're going to use this. And the next thing we'll do, now we have chosen what we want to use, is to compile it. And we just simply, okay. Okay, let me return this to original 4.2. Okay, 2.6. Okay. So once you choose the smart contract version, then you basically compile it. Okay. Now your code is compiled. Then you can deploy. Let's say we want to deploy now. We can just change to injected Web3, and we'll deploy it. And down here you see that it's creating the smart contract. Is very soon now you're going to see the deployed record. Okay, so you could do a lot. Sorry, my network is so poor here. So you could do a lot with your Solidity ID environment here. Okay, so the moment your contract is deployed, you are able to now have the opportunity to start building the front end. Your job is now as a developer is to find a way to connect the smart contract functions to make it user-friendly, so that the constant calls between what is happening on the blockchain network is brought to the view of a user's device. Okay, and it's not such a difficult thing to do if you commit to it. And those skills that I've mentioned already, JavaScript skills and React skills, will be extremely useful. Another tool that is also very useful to you here is the IPFS tool. Now, we that have been building web applications, we're used to hosting our services in probably CDN networks if we don't want to host them locally. But there are some limitations that hosting in centralized server environments brings when it comes to building decentralized applications. I mean, there could be loss of data, there could be outright mismanagement of data, and many more things. So IPFS, which stands for Interplanetary File System, is a distributed system for storing and accessing files and websites and applications and any kind of data. Now, if you are building something like, let's say, an NFT project, and people will be creating things like minting NFTs, like artworks, they'll be minting music, they'll be minting videos and all that. Where are you going to store them? You want to store them in your local machine? No. The best solution is to look for a decentralized data storage service, which of course IPFS provides. Okay, so it helps you to easily do all that. Another useful tool you need to get here is the Infuria. Infuria is you know, you can, for you to build a successful web application, decentralized application, you need at least one node to be able to build, to take some of the data from. Now, running a node sometimes will be cumbersome. So it's not everybody that wants to go through all that. But if you want to access node data, Infuria is the place. So it provides a Ethereum node infrastructure for you to easily connect to build your decentralized application. So the link there is available for you to go through that and do that. Then there are also frameworks and deployment platforms that have also come to make the life of a DApp developer really, 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 really very easy. And some of them I've listed there. I've listed Moralis. You can check Moralis out, and you will be shocked at how much you can accomplish with one single line of code in some of these platforms. Whether it's Moralis that you want to use or Touching, you want to, many of these platforms, one line of code, you are able to do most of the things that you would have spent hours or days, even making mistakes before you're able to accomplish. Another thing that is also interesting here is that there are also frameworks. You know, just like in building web applications, we have frameworks like WordPress, frameworks like Code Igniter, Drupal. You know, it makes it easy for you to rapidly deploy your web applications. Now, there are also frameworks like that for blockchain application development. So you have Embark Lab, then you use Dapps, the use Dapps Lab, then Simba Chain. Each of these platforms will enable you to rapidly deploy your decentralized application without the headache of writing all the codes from beginning to end. Okay, so we have the learning resources that I've also put together for you in this file. And if you follow them, you'll be able to quickly learn about blockchain development. Okay, my final words, because I'm trying to do this presentation within 1 hour so that we can go into question and answer, and my co-hosts will be able to make their input. Okay, so my final words is, you know, just follow the paths that have been laid out for you when you are starting on this project. Ethereum has a very large ecosystem, and it pays to build your decentralized applications on them. But if you choose for any other reason to build elsewhere, then you have to weigh it against the benefits of building in this already welcomed platform called Ethereum. They also promise to tell you what you can do with the skills eventually when you learn them. You can become a Dappreneur. A Dappreneur is a developer that builds different apps and runs them by himself, he operates them. If you go to the state of Dapps, which is a place where you can see the different blockchain applications that people have built, you find that there are some Dapps that is just one person that created it, and people are using them. It could be a decentralized finance app. It can be an NFT platform. You can actually do all those ones with your skills. And of course, when you build your own apps like that, it helps to also increase the value that you will have before people who are hiring, because you can always showcase your DApp to them. Okay, I built this DApp, this is what it's doing, this is the user base and all that. That increases your personal profile when it comes to being hired. You can also build this DeFi products. I've mentioned it already. You can build DeFi games. That is a GameFi project, and people will be playing them, and you create the transaction fees and your commission. You let people use them, and you make money by that. You can also build your own NFT marketplace. Every NFT marketplace must not be a community-driven marketplace. You can have a marketplace that you are the one maintaining. You are the one maintaining NFTs, or you provide a platform where people can mint their own NFTs, and you charge them a fee for using that platform to do so. It makes it very easy for you to also find something you do. You can also, of course, freelance as a blockchain developer, truly someone who builds, not someone who makes mouth, and when they give in project, you start avoiding the calls from people who gave you the job. Another thing you can do, you can also teach. I mean, after acquiring the knowledge, you can choose to do the knowledge transfer by teaching others how to build blockchain applications, because you can't teach what you don't have. Okay, so that ends the first part of my presentation. And of course, like many of you know, I'm currently an Adaverse partner, helping to source for blockchain projects that need funding. Of course, you can get funding in different ways. You can get funding from friends, family, and fools. You can crowdfund your project. You may be lucky to get a grant, or VC can welcome your idea, or you go to the bank and get a loan, or one angel will fly in and help you with money, okay? Or you can have many people invest and become part owners of your business, or from your customers, okay? Apart from, of course, using your own savings to start. But one thing that Adaverse wants to accomplish is that Adaverse wants to help to deepen the ecosystem in Africa, and especially in Nigeria. And Adaverse is an arm of the Cardano Foundation that is hoping to invest 5 million in the next 5 years. And we are targeting a minimum of 20 companies that want to put that money to. And if you are a company that you're already building something, or you have an idea to build something, please reach out. We want to look at what you're building, especially if you want to build on Cardano. The project is not only Cardano funded, but if you are building a Cardano project, it increases your chances of accessing those funds. Thank you so much for listening. And at this point, I want to bring in Dave. Are you here? Okay, Dave, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So I've just run through the presentation, because this is just an expository webinar. Nobody learns web development in 2 hours, talk less of blockchain development. Okay, so I thank you for being here, Dave. So go ahead and make some input.
Okay, thanks a lot. Personally, I learned a lot from all you have said, and hopefully you make some of the documents available. I welcome everybody here. I think I should introduce myself. Well, my background is in software development. I've been coding for decades now, maybe a decade, and let me not say decades. I've also been into leading teams and a whole lot of things around that. So with respect to this, I would like to talk about, I think somebody needs to
Unmute yourself again.
Okay, so you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, so I'd like to talk about the actual team, what you need to build a team that will see a blockchain project through. So I put together some things on the slide. Let me see if I can share my screen. Can you enable screen sharing?
Okay, and
for me,
I think what I'll do is to give you host.
Okay, yeah, that's good too.
So I'm going to make you.
You don't need to give him host. You can. There's a place where you can enable share screen.
There is
Yes,
Multiple
on your
participants
settings.
can share simultaneously.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't need to give him host.
Okay, so check if it works now.
Okay, works perfect now.
Okay.
All right. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So one of the challenges of building a blockchain project is knowing how to structure your team and what kind of people you need, what skills of people you need to be able to put it together. Now, it's very similar to building a typical tech team, but then there are a number of elements that are slightly different. So first of all is to come up with the idea. You need a little education in the blockchain environment to be able to, or ecosystem, to be able to know what to build or which opportunities to exploit. Another way is not to have the idea at all, just join a team that is already building something. Work with somebody that already understands the system that has the idea. So at the idea stage, there's a lot of brainstorming, feasibility studies, market research. All right, market research involves a whole lot of talking to experts, sometimes posting the idea on forums of experts, blockchain, Bitcoin forums, and see what responses you could get. And that's how the original Bitcoin was even built, a lot of discussions in forums. And then just like every tech project, you do a lot of wireframing on paper and eventually modeling on systems of how the project would look like. Now, at this stage, you also have to decide what the technology will be. So if you are the tech guy, you need to educate yourself, just like Chimezea said, you need to educate yourself in the whole technology to know which one is better. Otherwise, you also talk to a number of tech experts with respect to the blockchain ecosystem. So you decide which technology to use, which of the technologies already discussed to deploy on, what your token would look like. Things like token metrics. How many tokens do you want? Would they be bondable, and so on. And then most, not all, but most blockchain-based projects will also have a sort of web and mobile version of prototype or something. So even though you're going to be writing a lot of Solidity, for instance, you will still end up writing some sort of Laravel, PHP, or Python equivalent on the other end. For some blockchain projects to be complete, they will also have a web end. Okay, so you have to make that decision as early as possible in the project. So what you're going now, when it comes to team, one thing that many people don't know is that when you're into a blockchain project, you might need some certain kind of people in your team. For instance, the people that will handle the content, and then the people that handle the marketing. So the content guys will be handling your what do you call it, chat platforms, your community, your forums, and they'll be writing articles for you in different blockchain based or crypto based forums and so on. And then they will be handling your customer care, answering questions about the platform, replying customers, and a whole lot of things. So depending on the scale and size of your project, you may need anywhere from 1 to 30 people in that team. Then the marketing team, these are the people that will promote your platform. And these days, some of these social media networks have started kind of allowing crypto-based adverts. Before, they blocked it for like 2-3 years now, but I've started to see some. And then this marketing team will also handle PR. When it comes to blockchains and crypto, PR is better than marketing. Like going to interviews, talking with people like all those influencers. Most times it's better because it's more convincing to people that are going to invest big time compared to, and then it's searchable. Unlike marketing per se, when you do digital marketing and stuff, like people that want to research you may not see that advert you're advertising on Facebook. but they will see that article about you or your interview on Vanguard, for instance. Okay, so the marketing team also knows where to put your products when it comes to putting it in Forbes, NASDAQ. You know, there are some major world global platforms, news platforms that if your article appears there, it kind of gives a whole lot of credibility to it. Then legal team, what works in one country may not work in the next country. So you need a legal team or legal consultants to know how you can address customers in each of the countries you're presenting. Then you need a tech team. These are the guys that will do the coding and deploy the actual project. So the tech team will be split into many parts, but generally you need somebody that is already very experienced to head it. Probably somebody that has done it before. That's the best kind of person to have there. Then also you need an advisory team. These guys will not write any code. They may never even know where your office is or anything. They are in different parts of the world, but they have competence and credibility in the field you're trying to work on or innovate solutions on. For instance, if you're trying to innovate solutions on football, maybe you want to introduce some sort of crypto payment in the football industry, you might want to reach out to somebody like using Nigerian context or culture, all right? He agrees to be an advisor, which means on your platform, on your website, you list him as an advisor. All right, these are people that when you want to understand better about football, you call them and say, based on the project we're working on, what do you think about this? And these advisors will help you connect you to opportunities, the companies in that industry that you need to sign very strong partnerships in with. So another kind of advisory is somebody that is into health, maybe a university professor that is into sports. Okay, that could be somebody that forms part of the advisory team. Another person is somebody that is into tech, usually somebody from probably a Fortune 500 company into business, into tech. So by the time you reach out to some people, you will see that you have an advisory team. These people might just, they may not even ask for anything. They just like the project and they agree to have their face on it. Them having their face on it gives you credibility and enables you to sign better partnerships with other companies. So on the advisory team, you need about minimum of 3. And 3 to 15 is okay. If you have more than 15, you have started to push it, you know. But if you have less than 3, it's questionable. So anywhere between 3 to 15 people is fairly okay. So company registration, you need to know where to register your company. Like I said before, different countries have different rules. So the countries I listed here are some of the popular countries that people would go to register crypto-based companies. But you also know that you can register in any other country. Just know that you have to follow their rules and regulations. And basically, you want to avoid countries that wake up one day, cancel all crypto projects, and then wake up another day, enable everything, another day, cancel everything, you know. So you want countries that have a track record of supporting blockchain and cryptocurrency. Now, there's something called white paper. White paper is basically a document that describes exactly what you're trying to accomplish with respect to, in this case now, with respect to your blockchain or crypto project. So unlike most tech projects that you have to jump into writing business plan, in this case, you need to write a white paper. The original Bitcoin white paper, I think, is just like 13 pages. So I advise everybody to start with it. Go read up what the Bitcoin white paper is. Some anonymous dude just wrote exactly what Bitcoin is, how it will function, and with some one or two. I don't know what I saw. Okay, good. So if you're not trying to raise funds, you can start by describing what the whole project is. Then you talk about timelines. When do you plan to deploy? You need to know that your white paper is also in versions. So you can have version 1, version 1.2, like a software, because as your project progresses, you will need to update it to reflect that. So you have timelines. Month 1, this is what we're going to do. In month 6, in month 12, this is what we're going to do, and so on. You also have a section that talks about terms to purchase your token. That is, if your token, if you are trying to sell your tokens like in an ICO, otherwise that number 3 is not useful. Now you need to talk about project concept and technology. Here you need diagrams, you need real life examples, you need user stories, you need numbers, put things in perspective. There are so many white papers there that you can get inspiration from. And then you can hire writers. There are platforms where you can hire white paper writers, and some forums where you can get that. And I think you can even get on Fiverr. So the token details, here you have to explain what your token is about, what platforms or machines it's running on, and how many you have, and the nature of the token. Okay. And of course, a lot of graphics, not necessarily a lot, depending on how you want to present it. You might have few graphics or a lot, depending. So now there are some platforms you need to have online for your project to be considered in a way complete. You need a landing page, regular landing page built with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That landing page is going to explain everything about your company, your team, contact us, about us. To have a form for people signing in to your email newsletter, which is very, very important, because your blockchain project is a journey. All right, your users and followers need to be updated on the progress of the journey. So on your page there, one of the prominent things that needs to be there is a way for people to sign into your newsletter. Okay, and it will also help you to announce key progress in the company. So you need an email system. There are many email systems. One of the ones I use now is MailerLite. I use that a lot. But these are just regular websites. This is just a regular website. Now, let's talk about prototype. Like I said, sometimes your prototype is on the blockchain. Sometimes your prototype is on regular programming languages, like it was built with PHP. Imagine that you're building a platform for people to pay school fees using crypto. Okay, and in the end, you want to talk to many universities, have many universities on that platform, and then people from who knows where, Binance can just show up on your platform, transfer their crypto, make payment, and it will go to the university, something like that. So you'll see that already you can see that part of the project will be on PHP, Python frameworks. You're going to use Django or Laravel, and then part will then be with respect to the whatever tokens you're going to build on crypto or blockchain. So depending on how you want to do that, you may want to have your prototype up and running as soon as possible. It doesn't need to have real data. It just needs to be testable, so that when you're talking to investors and all, you have something to point them to. Okay, so you need introduction video. Just get somebody to do a very nice video for you to explain the project. You need subscription forms. Okay, you need a roadmap, which is roughly the same thing as a timeline. You need to describe the product. These are the things that will be on your landing page. Okay, you need to show pictures of the people in your team and their profile, and a link to their LinkedIn page. So you show the pictures of the tech guys, the marketing guys, the whatever guys, you put their profile there. It gives credibility. You need PR. Where have you appeared on the news? So remember that you are going to hire a PR team that will put your articles everywhere and your interviews. So you list them. The logos of those companies need to be there. So also, if you have partners, if you have signed partnership or MOU with other companies, you can put them there, and then if you are doing ICO, you can put it there. You need a link to your white paper, link to your social media contacts, which means you need to create social media pages. So look at what the PR looks like. So like I said, initially, PR is always better than advertising, but it involves a whole lot of things. For instance, email newsletter, social media channels, creation and management, okay, promotion on crypto forums, promotion on social networks, advertising, you need tech, articles, blogs, news, adding project to various crypto tracker sites. There are crypto tracker sites that you can list your project so that people will discover it, just like product hunt is for, just like product hunt. So you have token and project launch. So you need to know where you intend to launch your token. You also need to know how you want to get into exchanges. All right. So these things will be on your timeline too, when you're going to launch and go live and when you're going to get to an exchange. So a good example of an exchange is Binance. But then there are many of them. And that brings me to the end of this. I hope I was able to make some impact. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
All right, thank you so much. And Dave, thank you so much resource that you dashed out here. Thank you. So his number is on the screen, so you can still pick that number and get in touch with him. Okay. All right. So I have someone else that I want him to make an input. Nnamdi Oba is the CEO of House Africa. Nnamdi, are you here? Nnamdi. Okay, probably. Okay, he's here. Nnamdi Oba. Are you ready to chip in something? Okay. So while we're waiting for him, now, if you want,
his mic is muted. His mic is muted.
He can unmute. He can unmute. Nnamdi, you can unmute yourself. Let me ask you to unmute. Okay. Fred Brandon, I appreciate you being here, and I would like you to take maybe 5 minutes to chip in something into what's going on here in terms of blockchain development and skill building. Are you ready to say something now, Fred?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Fred.
How's it going? This was a great presentation. It's been a great presentation so far. I think that if you are ready to delve into the world of blockchain, this is a great time and a great space to get into. Currently, there are so many opportunities to get into blockchain, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Being able to get into blockchain development, being able to build upon it. There, as Chuda mentioned, there is so many opportunities to get into this space to, whether you are looking to solve problems, looking for different positions, the opportunities to get into tech, to create your own businesses, to be DApp developers, just to understand the entire ecosystem of blockchain is at a all-time high. There are a lot of different developments that's going on. As you see, as he mentioned, the NFT marketplace, there are a lot of different things that you can do with NFTs. So if you're into art, if you're an artist, and we're not just talking about like the paintings and digital art, there are musicians and, visual art and literary art. There's a lot of different ways that you can build NFTs. And being able to be a developer, you're able to create your own NFT marketplace and be able to not only just create it, but also sell it and also sell others artworks as well. So there are so many opportunities, since we are talking to mostly devs, or predominantly devs in here, that can be your space. But also, for the people on here that may not necessarily come from an all the way dev background, there are so many opportunities for you to get into the blockchain environment. Whether you're just understanding the space, being able to talk to, different processes that companies are using. If you are, on the crypto side, understanding the financial piece as well. So there are a lot of opportunities. So I think this is a great course and a great opportunity to, just not only learn the fundamentals of blockchain development, but understand the ecosystem as a whole.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Charles, you're here now. Please unmute yourself and make your brief contribution. Our target is to end this presentation by 1 p.m. So we still have like 44 minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think you've said it all, and with
I
Dave
didn't
and,
say it all. Though. I did not say it all. I did not say it all. I object to that.
Okay, you said most of it, right? You said most of it. So I think what I would just advise devs in this space, like even this morning, I got some requests from some other guys, and even on a daily basis, I do get LinkedIn requests of blockchain developers, both here local and international, and we lack that. So one thing I would advise blockchain devs to do is, or people that want to go into the space, is see how you can volunteer, right? Volunteer for projects that are just starting up, right? And then looking for blockchain devs. It's number one thing it's going to do is going to help your profile, right? And then it's also going to increase your skill, right? You learn along the way as you are working or as you are doing it. Let me formally introduce myself. Actually, my name is Charles Okafumba. I'm actually the CTO of Conversity, and I've been in the space now, specifically, right, in DApp development for like since 2016. That should be like 5 years now, right? So I will say I know the intricacies. And if you are going to start, Solidity is a very good place to start with. There are some libraries that you can also use to, if you are good with Solidity, you can use those libraries to to convert your Solidity code to either to work with Solana and work with some other WebAssembly enabled and smart contracts and blockchain. So there are lots of opportunities out there. Even we at Conversity, we are still looking for blockchain developers. So try and see how you can volunteer in this space to up your skills and up your game. And then number two is please don't look down on Nigerian projects. I know I've contacted some devs to see how they work locally, but it's like everybody's just trying to work internationally, leaving out those that are here, startups that are here that are still struggling with good projects. So see how you can also contribute your own bit to the space down here, just like what Chuta is doing and some other people in this space. So that's my 2 cents for now regarding this very good space that will earn you big money if you play your game well. Chuta, we can't hear you. Your mic is mute.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Thank you so much for the input. I knew you would come strong. Nnamdi, are you listening? Can you unmute yourself? Because we want to go into Q&A. If you have questions and you would like to ask them, please, can you raise your hand? There's a reaction button on your Zoom page. Click on the reaction button, then click on raise hand, and I can give you permission to unmute yourself so you can ask your question. Now, one of the things that I want us to do in terms of follow-up on this is that we want to have our next cohort of blockchain developers from these people coming in from the web development background We want to have the next cohort to resume their classes by the second week of January 2022. And what we have made up our mind to do is to prepare a fully functional learning platform where we will give you access to have all the resources that you will need to build different types of blockchain application, whether it has to do with building smart contracts that you just want to deploy for somebody, or you want to build a DeFi project from scratch, you want to build an NFT platform from scratch, you want to fork an existing decentralized application like Uniswap for yourself and build a front end of your own for it. Everything that you will need, we want to provide that content. Let me tell you why we're doing that, because BNUG's DAO project is about to launch in the next few weeks. And that project, we intend to build a whole lot of applications around them. See, blockchain developers are expensive to hire. Even if you just want someone to create token for you, I just showed you simple platform where you create token. If you didn't know, you pay someone to create it for you, and we'll create a token even now and deploy it on Binance Smart Chain before we close. So it's expensive to hire blockchain developers. Even us as a community, to get our community members to dedicate some part of their time to work on this pro bono for the community. I know how long they've been doing that, because they can't leave their primary job to do volunteer job. So what is it that we plan to do? We want to train as many people as possible so they can at least learn how you can start building some type of blockchain application within the BNUG DAO ecosystem environment. Instead of us waiting until we can afford $50,000, $100,000 to pay for blockchain developers, why don't we invest that money in training resources and train an army of developers, so that once you come out from there, you will in turn under BNUG DAO project and help to build all things. We're building game projects, game files projects for maybe projects that people will play to earn, or play to learn and earn, or outright games that will, like, be hero types and all those kind of things. We want to have NFT, different types of NFT minting environment, because NFT is not just, it's not just to create one type of NFT, 720 standard. No, we can have several NFT creation platforms for NFT minting, multiple NFT mintings, and we'll have different types of project initiatives that we want to do. And we really want to have our people build them. Okay, what sense will it make that Blockchain Nigeria Group have DAO project, and the project was built by Asians, or the project was built by some Chinese? No. What's there in this thing that we're talking about? So we're going to bring out resources for you guys. And if you really, really are committed to learning blockchain development, you will have to follow those learning platforms, and already we have shared stuff in our Telegram group for people who want to learn how to build games. But this time around, it's not just to give you the material. We want to give you an environment where you can learn them, and we'll monitor them. And after that, we'll assign you to a project that you can be working, and use that one to build your project profile. And after that, you'll be able to now qualify for us to recommend you for people who are looking for people that will work. And you also be able to see places where you can get placement for yourself. I hope that makes sense. Now I can see some people's hands are up. Let me start with Joshua Ajagbe. Please unmute yourself and have your input.
All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Joshua.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot for all you're doing, sir. I really appreciate it. Yes, sir. So I just want to ask, actually, I have been a web developer for quite some time. Actually, some months, because I'm new to the tech space. And then I started learning Solidity, I think about 2 days ago. So I'm just quite curious, how long averagely does it really take to be a good blockchain developer? So that's just my major question, sir. And then the peripheral question is just that how can we get the slides on the doc for the document? Thank you, sir.
Okay, so the first question, the answer to the first question depends on you as an individual, based on your interest level and how much you want to dedicate to doing that. Because there is no time frame. Everybody has his own learning track record or time frame. So it all depends on you. But I personally would tell you that 3 months is more than sufficient for anyone who is dedicated to learn anything to learn it. You can perfect it over a long period of doing. And the best way to learn blockchain development is to learn on the job, learn with projects. Like, let it be a project-based learning. Let's say you want to learn how to deploy smart contracts, for instance. Learn by doing. Learn by doing it, not just read the book or watch the video. Open your coding platform, get to get your hands dirty immediately. If you want to learn how to build a game application, don't just read the article or watch the video and go away. As you open the video to watch, open your terminal, start cloning the repository right into your laptop and start getting everything. Just follow the guide. Do you understand? By the time you learn by doing, it wouldn't take you time to master it, because we rise by standing on other people's shoulders. I hope that answers you. Then for the recordings, we are recording this, and we will make the recording available. So make sure you join the BNUG Telegram group, because that's where we'll drop the link for the recording, and also drop the link for this file. We'll make it shareable. You can only read, you can edit it, but I will be editing and adding more content, and devs content will also be added to the slide. So it'll just be one document and everybody will be able to get it in addition to the videos. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Chijoke Peter, go ahead, unmute yourself and make your input. Chijoke, are you there? You can ask your question, Chijoke.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is a bit technical. My question is a bit technical, and I was going to ask about the idea you mentioned. When around 2016, when I started using Bitcoin to accept payments, there have been cases when someone sends payments from a particular blockchain to a different blockchain mistakenly. So I want to ask, is there any process or technical approach to recovering payments sent to a different blockchain in let's say something that is already built right now, or is this a way of interconnecting blockchains to retrieve payments? Is that something in section or something someone have already built?
Okay, from my own experience, what I can say is that if it's to a different blockchain address, then the money is lost. The one I know that is recoverable is, let's say you mistakenly sent USDT Tron to a USDT to a Tron address, but that Tron address does not support USDT in the application that you're using. If you have the private key, you can actually import it to another application and create a wallet for the USDT Tron, and you'll be able to recover that money, because both of them are on the same network, but the application that you're using may not be calling that record into the front end that you're using. So that's the one I know, but I don't think that if you send Bitcoin, even a good application should be able to identify a wallet address to see if it's compatible with the network and refuse you from making that mistake.
Sending.
But you often make that mistake when you are dealing with Ethereum-like blockchain, because the addresses look alike somehow. Let's say you may mistakenly send Ethereum to Theta blockchain, that is THETA, not Theta USDT, THETA, because it's a fork of Ethereum. The money will be lost. Okay.
Okay, but don't you think it's a solution that could be implemented? Let's say blockchains can be interconnected and address is sent to a blockchain that doesn't that is not compatible, is somehow retrieved back to the sender's address.
Well, it's an idea, so test it out and check if there are people that have enough pain point like that that can support it as a business.
Okay, because I have been thinking about it, and from that time I've heard a lot of people saying they sent the money to the wrong blockchain, and is an issue, and there's no way to recover it. I think if two blockchains can be connected somehow.
I'll do some research on it, and
because I'm still getting started with React.js, so I just wanted to put out the question and know what you have in mind, if it's have been solved or still pending.
Thank you so much.
And also, thank you for the slide share. And
all right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Chijoki. Okay, Ugochukwu Wanji. Can you kindly unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And yeah, I'm very, very happy and overwhelmed with this. First things first, I have a question. But before the question, I want to throw some comments. I've been a developer for some years now, almost a decade. I got into blockchain in 2017, but at some point I was discouraged and I left it. This meeting has reignited my passion for blockchain once again. So I want to appreciate BNUJ for everything that has happened. I want to create I want to really ask, if I can get the Telegram link to continue, because seriously, I want to be part of the next cohort, because I left Solidity for some time, and I also want to be part so that I can be actively involved in the training section and every other thing. That's one. The second thing is, I stumbled into Moralis. I think I saw it in your presentation, Moralis.
Yeah.
Is there any limitation to learning Moralis and mastering Solidity? So is there any limitation, or we can just stick?
Okay, so Moralis is a framework. Look at it as according to them, look at it as like Firebase of Dapps. If you have been building web applications, you know what Firebase is, or Code Igniter. They help you to accomplish much by doing little. Now, if you are already knowledgeable about programming and web development, then using tools like that is not a problem. Where it's a problem is when you don't have much knowledge, but you are jumping into that particular framework to start using them. Because when you run into a problem there, you don't even know where to start. But it's a good tool. Secondly, when you use Moralis to deploy applications and the API calls are being made, remember that Moralis has a dashboard that records what you're using your API for. And over time, it's likely that they will start billing you, because you can start using it for free. But by the time you start doing real world application, they'll start billing you for it. So it's also going to be expensive, because it's business. They are running business. They created it for developers, but when developers deploy it and they are now using it as business, Moralis will say, oh yeah, start paying. Okay, because when those API calls will start coming in, they will know that this guy must be doing something with this is project, and they will start paying. So those are the things that I can tell you there. I hope that answers you. Then for the link, we already dropped the link.
Yes, thank you very much.
The link, and if you join the BNUG group, the link to the BNUG Dev 1000 will also be given to you there. Abdulaziz, can you mute yourself and have your say, please? Abdulaziz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I've just started ASP.NET But I like blockchain. I don't know, maybe ASP.NET support blockchain, sir. Thank you, sir.
ASP.NET. Except, I've already mentioned that Visual Code Studio or Visual Studio Code is a preferred tool for building your applications, and is also from Microsoft. I don't think, except maybe it supports Microsoft's own type of blockchain development. But if you want to build on an open source environment, what we're talking about here is open source, no proprietary tool. You will see that we didn't mention IBM, Hyperledger, or any other private blockchain tools in our discussion. So we are focusing on open source blockchain projects, and I think you should just go with Visual Studio Code. Hope that answers you.
Yes.
Bassi, are you there? Bassi Divine.
Yes,
can you unmute yourself? Bassi.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
I really love this presentation, and I think it's something worth doing. More or less, I'm a computer science student, but in my second year, I know a little about programming, and I've not for once heard of Solidity and the rest of them. Please, I want to ask, is there any prerequisite programming language to learn so as to make any of these blockchain developments easy?
Okay, thank you so much for that question, because we almost missed that. I know that there are people who don't have any background in development that are also in this call, and you're listening and you're wondering, how do you start? Now, first of all, there's what they call keyboarding skill. Keyboarding skill is the ability to use keyboard. I'm not talking about using your tiny phone to type something. I'm talking about learning how to use standard keyboard to type. Okay, so keyboarding skill is the primary place to begin when you actually want to get involved with development. Because you can imagine, if you don't know where the keys are on the board, how are you going to type? So keyboarding is a good place to start. And there are so many platforms online where they can enable you to learn keyboarding skills effortlessly and be able to utilize the opportunity there to learn how to type properly. Then once you are a little bit, I'm not saying go and become a typist or learn keyboarding skill that will make you a secretary. No, you should know where the keys are so they can be comfortable with working on a desktop or a laptop, because that's the tool that you're going to be using. So once you are done with keyboarding skill, then go to the foundations of the web: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. There is a resource called W3 Schools. W3 School is a place where you can go and learn several programming languages, starting with HTML, and it's a do-it-yourself environment. So you can actually practice them and see how they work by yourself. Okay, so you can go to W3 School, or you can go to codeacademy.org. There are so many places where you can start some of these things. We always recommend that people should use a platform called Solo Learn. Solo Learn is a free to learn programming environment, and you can also obtain a certificate after your training. And we suggest that because there are so many other programming languages that you can also learn from Solo Learn. I'll type the web address is so that anybody can easily get it. Solo. Okay, somebody has already put it there, sololearn.com. So you can always go there and pick up those primary skills, and you'll be on your way. One thing about programming is that once you understand the basics of programming on a fundamental level, you can actually learn easily any other programming language. I hope that answers you.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, please, between Java and Python, which one would you prefer someone to learn?
I think Python is better for you if you are on the same page with us. Python is better.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I can see Ibrahim. Ibrahim, can you unmute yourself and let's have your say? Ibrahim. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
First, I want to appreciate all the presentations and materials that have been shared. Actually, I've also been 7 years, and I'm also new to technology. My question is that I want to ask, what's the future? How scalable would it be to have a crypto payment gateway?
Okay. Everything that has to do with scalability or sustainability has to depend on the value that you're delivering through that particular product or service. If you have a product that is solving people's problem and they need it, they will come with their, reward to you for the value that you're delivering to them. And that means it can be sustained as long as people keep having that problem. So you look at the root of the solution that your project or your product is delivering, whether it's crypto-based or not, is the same thing. Nobody wants to patronize a non-relevant product or project. I hope that answers you, Ibrahim.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Bello, let me just take the shorter one. Bello, your hand is up. Can you unmute yourself? Bello. Okay, if he's not hearing, can Kingsley Neckerson unmute himself? Kingsley, can you unmute yourself? Kingsley.
Hello, good day, sir.
Yeah, good day, Kingsley. Right.
Hello, sir. Hey.
Okay, Kingsley, hold on. Bello has woken up. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for your time. Thanks for what you've been saying to all. My question goes to Charles, sir.
Okay, Charles, are you still here?
He made mention.
Okay, Charles is still there. Go ahead.
Okay, he made mention that for us to improve our performance on Solidity or on blockchain, that there are some upcoming projects that we can contribute to. So I want to ask, how can we do that? Is there a link to join any project, upcoming project, or ongoing project?
Do you have software development skill or blockchain dev skill already?
Yes, I'm a full stack developer.
Okay, so we have a project already. We have the BNUG DAO project.
Okay, sir.
So we will give you the link to join the technical team on that, and you can start helping out there. There's already some reasonable amount of work has already been done. But Charles, if there is any other project, you can reach out to him privately. I don't think it would be okay for him to give you that information here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So please reach out on Telegram so that we can add you to the BNUG DAO development team. Patrick, you are there?
Okay.
Patrick Ide. Patrick, are you ready? Okay, while we're waiting for Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, hi, Chuta. Great job. Thanks for this session. So basically, I think most of my questions are the answer. I wanted to ask one about the repository. If there was a place people could go to, get some knowledge on, stuff around the blockchain development, which you've already said January. So I think that's okay. Secondly, I wanted to ask, the guy from Convexity, the partner from Convexity, was saying there are a couple of projects that people can volunteer on. So is there a way for people or a place people can go to see this volunteering opportunity so that they know how and where to plug into it?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Again, let me ask, do you have blockchain developer skill right now?
No, not right now. We're just basic web development skills.
Okay. So you reach out to Charles, he will let you know. Yeah, but also join the Blockchain Dev 1000 team. one of the things that we do, or I have been doing over the last 2 years, is to leave a repository of resources at learn.blockchaindev1000. And we have books and we have links to videos and all kinds of tutorials that pertain to blockchain development. And we try to update it from time to time. We'll create another subgroup for GameFi and NFTs and populate them with the recent resource that is available for that. So you can always go to learn blockchain dev 1000 and create your account there.
Blockchain.
Learn
the blockchain.
Blockchain dev 1000.com.
Dev 1000.com. Okay.
Yeah.
But also, I would also like to suggest that a better way to keep your repository good will also be on what's it called, Discord, because it has a way you can arrange it according to topics. Telegram, everything is just modeled in one. You have to go and look for it. But Discord has like headings and subheadings, so you can just outline stuff out.
All right, we'll consider that one. You know, it's just that personally, Discord is so easy for my liking. You know, but it's a community decision. If the community thinks that we need to move over to Discord, we'll do that definitely.
That's fine. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Solomon. Are you ready now? Or have you spoken already? Okay, Clement Ida, please. Unmute yourself, Clement. Okay, while we're waiting for him, William, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you, Clement. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to use this opportunity to thank the moderator of this program. So I'm so happy to be a participant. I'm a web developer, a full stack web developer, and last year I joined the Binance blockchain masterclass. So I already have some basic knowledge of blockchain development because I completed their projects. So I would like to know if there's a way I can contribute and be a volunteer in this group. Maybe I can help the beginners in those beginners area, and also how to improve on my own skill.
All right, thank you so much, Clement. Really appreciate that. Of course, you can help. You can really help. We need more hands and more committed people to help others. We rise by lifting others. There's no other way. Okay, so whatever it is that you know now, you can start transferring that knowledge. So just join us on the Telegram group and private chat me. And if the private chat for me is not working for you, just leave message for me on the general room, then I'll private chat you. All right, thank you so much for that. Williams, are you ready? We're running out of time. Williams?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please unmute yourself and go ahead.
All right, so just like everyone, I also want to appreciate you and the team for putting this together. Quickly, my question is, I've heard the roadmap for those who have the basic knowledge for software development already and what you are planning for them in January. But for those of us who are also having keen interest, but we do not have that basic knowledge, what's the roadmap for us? What would you advise that we do, pending the time we are fit to, get on that level?
All right, thank you so much. We've already said that if you don't have any skills at all in programming, the best way to start is to go to sololearn.com, SOLOLEARN, sololearn.com. Then you can start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It's a free course. After that, you get a certificate. Of course, if you don't have keyboarding skills, just there are so many platforms. Just Google keyboarding skill, and you'll see platform that you'll be able to use to learn how to use a keyboard and understand the positions of different keys on the keyboard. All right. I hope that answers you. Priye, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Big shout out to the first lady that is showing up here.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is that as a developer, a new person in development, sometimes trying to structure out which part to go into is quite a problem because it's really vast. You're like, okay, so this one and this one. Having a proper structure on which line to follow, it's a problem. So now I'm hearing blockchain, and other times I know, okay, so there's web app development and all that. One doesn't really know which way to focus, because you just trying to try everything out might just keep you confused, and you just spend a whole year not really having a direction. Also, I would want to know the best advice on which path to follow. If I go into blockchain completely, would I be missing out on any other aspects in IT, in development? I would want to know that. And then secondly, somebody just asked a question and you said Python is your best bet. I started with Python, and I must say I learned a few, before I went into other parts. And then what I learned was Python Django. Now, is there a difference between Python properly and Python Django? So when you say for blockchain, should I go completely into Python or just direct and go to the Python Django? I don't know if I'm confusing you with my questions.
Okay, I understand what you want to ask. And let me first of all start with the fact that this presentation that we're doing today is specific to the industry called blockchain technology industry. And I don't know if you were here when I started out in the intro, and I said that there are basically 3 paths that someone can go when he wants to become a developer in the industry. One is to be a blockchain infrastructure layer developer, in which case he'll be building blockchain protocols. And for such, they will need skills like C++, C#, Java, even some Python, because those are hard lifting type of programming languages. Now, we are not dealing with blockchain developers that want to do that. That's not what we want to do here. What we want to do here is 2 categories of developers. One is smart contract developers, and the other one is front-end decentralized application developers. You can be a smart contract developer without necessarily being a front-end developer. And you can also be a front-end developer without being a smart contract developer. Let's say you are in a team and your team has a front-end developer. That front-end developer, it's his job to take whatever smart contract that has been written and deployed by the developer that works on smart contract and build the DApp itself, the application that will be usable by people. Otherwise, if you deploy a smart contract, like the smart contract I was trying to show you guys earlier, is already deployed. Now, when a smart contract is deployed, it means that the JSON files, in other words, the opportunities, or let me find the right word. The pipes that will enable you to interact with the blockchain itself has already been brought out for you. So it is now the job of the front-end developer to integrate this Web3 application that will be able to make it user-friendly. Otherwise, you can actually open up a smart contract and execute the functions directly on the blockchain. Now, the second thing you're asking is about Python and Django. Django, from what I know, is a development framework for Python. Okay, and it helps somebody who wants to build a Python application to speedily deploy it using that framework. And in order to use a framework, there are certain kinds of tools that they also provide for you, and certain coding standards that they expect you. Maybe if you want to invoke a hook, for instance, that will call for another module that is being deployed, you have to follow certain lines. So, but for what we're doing, the best skills for you, and I hope everybody is there, the best skill for you is the JavaScript type of skills. The JavaScript types of skills. Either you're doing React or JavaScript itself, React, Next.js, or even Vue.js, and everything around JavaScript is the most important skill in this kind of blockchain development that we are talking about here. I hope that answers you, ma.
Yes, very well. Thank you very much.
All right. And with that, I think we will just create this token, and everyone that participated, you're going to hold this token. What this token will eventually be, not only God fit tell, but we will continue to do what we are doing here. And we're going to create a token. I'm going to share a screen and deploy this token on Ethereum, no, on Binance Smart Chain, and you will receive the tokens and hold them, because when we begin to create these platforms that we want to give people access to, maybe the token will be what will give people assets. So we're going to call this token Blockchain Dev 1000. And we're going to call this, give it a symbol name called BD1. Okay, BD0. Okay. And we'll just have, normally you wouldn't change these variables, decimals, it's just nothing to change here. Then it's going to be fixed, and we'll just have only 10,000 units of it. 10,000 units of it. And we'll deploy it to Binance mainnet, and we'll pay the fees. And the installation is going on now. And very soon we will be done with this, and it will be on my wallet. And if you send your Binance Smart Chain wallet, you get your copy. I'll send each person, maybe I think we're like 90 here, so we'll send 10 of the BDO token to each of you. And when we provide liquidity for it, you can actually trade it. So the transaction is expecting me to OK on Metamax. And I'm gonna do that now. Okay, I confirm it. So the transaction is running. Okay, there's already a hash output, which means that we are writing it directly on Binance Smart Chain right now. Okay, so the token has been successfully deployed. And this is the token address. I'm going to give you guys the token address so you can add it to your MetaMask. This is a token address for it. Then I'm going to add it first of all to my own MetaMask. So just watch the miracle right away. So if I go to, I hope you're seeing it. This is my MetaMask, so it's already added. So this is a BDO, and there's 10,000 BDO tokens on it. So I just click add. So it's added now. So if I go to my assets, I can see that I have 10,000 BDO. And this is on the Binance Smart Chain right now. Okay, so the first person that drops is Binance ERC20 address, or ERC20 that is added there. I will just send you the token. You can see one from Paul. Okay, I can see all of you. When I go with, I think I'm using now. I'm going to give you the tokens. Okay, so don't worry about that. You can just drop your addresses there. I think one of the things I would have done is to create a FAQ set for you guys to receive it, but that will cost you Binance gas fee.
Hello, sir. I will collect the address.
Okay, just collect the addresses, and
yeah, let them just drop it, and I'll collect.
Just drop your addresses. He'll help us. We don't need to know your name. Just drop your addresses. We'll send to those addresses. Then you can confirm that you got the BDO token in your wallet address. Okay. And that brings us to the end of the webinar today. We closed at exactly 2 hours. And thanks for coming, and keep looking out for the next one that we'll be having very soon. And do well to invite your friends. And that'll be that. So thank you. And thank you for making our time to be here. I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so thanks. And
don't close it, please. I'm copying the address.
Okay.
Have a great day.
All right, so just go ahead and drop your address, and then you can exit. Drop your address, and I'll leave the meeting on while Bayo will continue to pick you people's address, and that will be that.
Please, I'm finding difficult here, please. Which of the address per se?
Go to your, do you have a Binance account?
Yes, I have Binance accounts.
In short, what you need is Metamax is better. Either you're using Metamax or you're using what's the name of this other app?
Trust Wallet.
Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet, yes. If you have Trust Wallet,
I have the
so give us the one that is on Metamax. Then once you get it, remember that the token has its own contract address, which I have pasted before, but let me paste the token contract address again, which is this one. It's only me that is posting the contract address. So don't make a mistake of thinking that my own address is the same with the other people's own. So this contract address is the contract address that you use in adding it to your Metamax browser or Trust Wallet. Okay, so I'll also drop that on BNUG DAO Telegram group. So
okay, what about for people who never had a Binance account?
No, you don't need to have a Binance account. You don't at all. You just need to have Metamax browser on your browser. It works for Firefox and also works for Google Chrome. So once you download it, you create the wallet, then you will have to add Binance Chain wallet, Binance Chain as the network. If you want to know how to add Binance Chain, I will give you information on how to add Binance Chain, and you will add Binance Chain Metamax. So I'll drop a link now that teaches you how to add Binance Chain to MetaMask so that you can easily
For the Trust Wallet, sorry, I'm not sure I understood it, but what
please,
I did,
can you drop the contract address on the chat?
Yes, I've dropped it, but let me drop again. I just dropped it again.
The smart chain, like to add the smart, to do the same thing what you're talking about.
So if you want to know how to add the Binance Chain on your MetaMax, please check the link that I just dropped now. Check the link that I just dropped now.
My question is like I myself, I just copied Binance to smart chain from Trust Wallet and send the right thing.
Bayo, are you still copying?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm still copying.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. I didn't see your name. I didn't see it on the charts, please. I don't know which name are you using. I'm just seeing many persons.
My own name?
Yes, on the charts. I'm not seeing your name as part.
My name, why are you not showing? My name should show now because my name is here now. Check host now. My name, show yourself now so that somebody will see you. Whether I should use
host,
Byron
no
to write.
Chimeze, no big Oga. Even the links, the Binance Smart Chain adding link you talked about is not there.
Check now.
So I suggest we drop it on the Telegram channel so that we can get it from there.
Okay, let me drop on Telegram channel. So is there how to connect Metamax to Binance Chain? It's on Telegram now.
Okay, let me go.
Then let me drop the contract address too, so that anyone who wants can also copy from there. Video. All right, Dave, thank you so much for staying with us today. Thank you, Charles. And thanks to everyone that made contribution, asked question, made suggestion and everything. I cannot thank you enough. Dave, we'll do this thing again. This token, me and you, we are going to be the drivers of this token by creating value. And as we create that value, the token will have some kind of use case because it's very small, just 10,000. You know, you can imagine if that token goes to like $100 per token, you'll know how far now. So we're going to create a use case around it on Blockchain DApp 1000 and drive its utility. And because it's very small, it's easy. I can even just do a 10,000 utility provision on PancakeSwap now, and you start converting it to usable money right away. Okay, so we'll do that. Bio, I'm signing out.
Wait, we should. Hey, they are just dropping it. I'm coming. Almost through.
Oh, that's is like you are actually chatting to one person. What all the stuff you have sent have not appeared on the chat room. Perhaps it's a person-to-person chat. You have it, anchored on.
You're correct. You're correct, but I've corrected it now.
Yeah, you just did. Thank you.
Sorry about that. So let me just put it back. So that's the contract address and how to add Binance matching. And if you're a developer, please consider also how to add Binance testnet too, so that you can.
Please, which one are we dropping? Okay. Is it normal Binance matching, or we should use this contract address to just drop and add it? Because I wanted to add it and I don't know the date match use, so that I will copy the contract address of this video.
I didn't get your question. Well, can you ask it again?
What I'm asking is whether we are copying contract address, the IDCA of normal Binance, or we are copying the contract address of this token that she just called. which one are we sending here? Because the one I sent is normal Binance.
That is your Binance address.
Yes.
No, you don't have to send us your Binance address. This address has to be on a non-custodial wallet, so that you can use the contract address to add this as a token. Binance will not support or does not owe us to support BDO as a token on their platform. Do you understand? So you have to use.
Yeah. What is this?
As far as the address you gave us came from either Trust Wallet or MetaMask is okay. Did it come from any of those two?
Yeah, I copied my own address from Trust Wallet, but it's not of this token. The address I copied.
It's okay. Listen now, it's okay. It's okay. So what you now do is on Trust Wallet, click on Add New Token.
Yeah.
When you click on Add New Token, copy the token address that I just pasted for you here. You understand? Yeah. Copy it and paste as the token address. And it will automatically find this token on Binance Smart Chain and even show you the token symbol, which is BDO. Then you click.
I have tested it, but it's not come up. I wanted to add it. I click on Add New Token and paste this. I wanted to add it manually because it did not come out.
My suggestion is that you should change your network to Binance Smart Chain network before you paste the.
Yes, make sure that you're on Binance Smart Chain network.
It's on Binance Smart Chain.
If
my own shows automatically. My own was automatic.
If it works for one person, it should work for you.
What are going to be that you will add a custom token, then change network to BSC network and paste the contracts. It will be automatic.
Okay. Let me try. Thank you. It's not working. I know what I'm saying. What are they saying?
So I think I've been able to copy some, Sha. They were quite much. We will have done a link, like maybe like a spreadsheet, and they will have done it themselves. But anyways, I've done what I could do.
The rest can collect it from the chat room.
Okay, good, sir. Thank you, sir.
Can collect. Anybody who has done Trust Wallet adding of the token, can you just explain to this guy what he needs to do? Because I'm using MetaMask and I just opened Trust Wallet to see.
What the guy should do? What the guy should do is when you go to your Trust Wallet, you will click on add a new token. Then you will now click custom token. In that custom token, by default, it will show Ethereum network. Then you switch it to Binance Smart Chain network and then paste the contract address. It will automatically fetch the details and you add the token.
Okay, so let me explain. Okay, hold on, Olga. Let me do this thing with you at the same time. Now, what I'm doing here now is I click on token and I click on the small icon that is on top on your right hand that looks like knots, arrowed knots. You have token, finance, collectibles, then that knot, click on it. Then where you have token, search tokens, you paste it. And of course, it will tell you token not found. Then click add custom token. From customs token network, choose Binance smart chain. Okay. Now you paste the contract address, token name, blockchain dev.
he won't need even the token. The moment he pastes it there, it appears automatically both on Metamask and Trust Wallet. You just have it there.
My own did not automatically appear. So I'm just
check if you're on testnet. If you're on Binance, if you're on BSC testnet, it won't. If you're on BSC mainnet, it will.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do it on Binance Smart Chain. Oh, sorry, Seth. I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm using the wrong. I'm not using the right information. Token address. Okay, done. So, guy, your own should work like that. Make sure that you copy the right address. I hope it's not another address that you are copying. I hope you copied the address that ended with C576. And then let me also post the Binance chain URL. That avoidance of doubt. That's the Binance chain URL. All right, thanks, guys. I got to go now. My breakfast has gotten cold.
You're just eating breakfast now.
See, I'm here now. See the food now. I don't bring it. I just see.
Enjoy yourself. Nothing do you.
You they enjoy yourself now. You don't know that you're supposed to be with me on this missionary journey. This is like Barnabas that is running away from going with Paul to Macedonia.
Don't worry, we'll still go together now.
All right, guys, I'm ending the meeting. We have had a nice time, so have a nice, enjoy the rest of your weekend.